So, Kimberly, to start, tell me how you became familiar with Unity.
Ah, well, to cut a long story short, basically, we were involved with a group of people on the south coast of England going to A Course in Miracles events and conversations with God groups, and we were preparing to leave that area and move to Maidenhead in Berkshire. And as we were preparing to go, a man in the group, Peter Holbert, suggested, oh, when you're going to Maidenhead, you must go along to Unity, you'll love it. So I'm always on the lookout for spiritual groups and people to connect with. So as soon as we moved to Maidenhead, July 2002, we trotted along to Unity House, met Steve DeHaven, who welcomed us in with open arms. We came to the Unity Maidenhead service that month and never looked back. That was July 2002, and we felt like we'd come home, and here we are today.
So, you've served Unity and as the director of Silent Unity since when?
2005. I was looking back at the dates today, Lois, and it's just amazing. I started working in October 2002. Doreen, who was the minister then, said to me, "Would you like to work here in Unity?" And I said, "What? You'll pay me?" "Yes, please. What do you want me to do?" And she asked if I'd do the fill-ins in the prayer letters for Silent Unity. And I had never done work anything like that before. So it's like, okay, you'll have to show me what to do. But I started doing the fill-ins for Silent Unity prayer letters and started studying in Unity and gradually worked my way up through. So I became director in '05 after 3 years. I trained in the SEE and was made a licensed Unity teacher in '08 and got my ministerial qualification in '15. So I've been doing all sorts of different things, but primarily it's been working in Silent Unity. That's been the continuous theme all the way through my time.
Looking back, Kimmery, we'll talk a little bit later on about where you are currently, but looking back, can you share what your knowledge is about how Unity came to England and any history that you know there or any of those who have gone before you that you've worked with?
Well, I mean, going right back to the 20s, I understand that it was in the 1920s that Unity really started to grow in the UK, and that was through Charles Fillmore's radio shows that went out. They were picked up in the UK, and had such a strong impact that groups started all over the country, and that started in Scotland, I believe, in the 1920s. And so obviously that's just a bit before my time, but Unity was really thriving, and the people that I particularly knew were Doreen Davenport. She was the one that hired me back in 2002. I worked with Margaret Baker, a beautiful Unity minister who was trained in Silent Unity at Unity Village, and she trained me in Silent Unity on the prayer line here in the UK. So those really are the two historical people that I met. Some of the great leaders that came before that, David Davenport and others, I never knew them. I hear great stories, but I didn't know them. But there is one story that I absolutely love about the history of Unity, and that is during the war, World War II, there was a lady called Ruth Hacking that had a prayer ministry in London, and she kept the light shining that whole time, although there were blackout lines, so no light could be seen outside of the building. But people would write to her right the way through the war, and she kept the prayer vigil going right the way through that. And the bombs fell in London, and they fell all around that building, but never did any damage to the prayer building. That's like that Unity building in London. And Ruth Hacking was an amazing woman. And I recently found out that one of the ladies that contacts us on the prayer line met Ruth Hacking in London and went to that building and remembers her. And we had an amazing conversation on the phone. This lady's in her 80s now. But it was like, wow, she's such a hero of mine, Ruth Hacking.
Yes. I can see a lot of the connection there, Kimmery, knowing you as well as I do and having seen you as you've unfolded into this role. I can see that connection. So I understand why that's such an important story and how divinely protected, Doreen shared that same story with us, and it's one of those that really touch your heart because you know the commitment, that level of commitment that's there to hold that high watch. And again, knowing you as I do, I know that all you've gone through to make certain that that continues in England as well. So let's talk about your journey now into the position. I recall when you first came to Unity Village, you came to study, and you mentioned SEE earlier, which is where the educational classes anyone could take. They were kind of the entry classes into Unity.
Yes.
You want to talk about that visit or that time, those classes?
Yes. Well, I started studying in Unity primarily because I wanted to do my job better. As I said, I didn't really know anything about prayer. I'd come out of meditation. My whole spiritual quest was going quiet into the silence. I didn't understand how one could talk to God and get a reply. It wasn't about that for me. It was about connecting with God within. So I started the study process and realised that really to move on in it, I needed to come to Unity Village. So I trotted across the Atlantic. I would say probably quite nervous but excited, sort of looking forward to it, but not knowing how I'd fit in. I'm always up for adventure, so I wasn't overly daunted, but I didn't consider myself as anything special. I'm not anything special, but I was coming just to really get as much information as I could about Unity and really absorb that so that I could really do my job better. And that was the reason I started SEE. I never had any desire particularly or vision of me doing anything of any real leadership role. It was just purely I wanted to do my job better. And I remember meeting you and sitting and chatting and, just little old me coming across to do SEE was all it was. But I just loved the experience. I think I came across 3 times to Unity Village to do my study, and I just loved being at the village and taking in that whole atmosphere of studying with other people, meeting other people, starting to make friends. And when I came back over, I'd meet other people again in classes and like yourself, Lois, and really start to develop a connection with headquarters, with all of you there at Unity Village, which really helped me feel connected to the greater vision that Unity is. I've had that experience of crossing the water and meeting you all and then meeting all the others that I've met through that are involved in Silent Unity and Daily Word around the world when we all met together for the conference many years ago now at Unity Village, but feeling part of something greater. And I think that's probably helped me a lot in my journey, that it's not just in England, in the UK, but we're part of something so much more. So the personal experience we offer through direct prayer result here to the people that contact us, for me, is also connected to that greater whole vision. And it was those first SEE classes that enabled me to really connect and know that.
Absolutely. And it is such a blessing as well for the students who were here because, as you well know, many of them commented on what a blessing it was for them to be able to catch the vision of the global unity versus the unity just in their community. So
absolutely.
It was a win-win, wasn't it?
Yes.
Went across the board. What are some changes that you've seen over time, Kimmery, in your time there? We're looking at 15 years.
Yes. Well, people are writing in much less. We still get the number of calls. We now, of course, get emails, so a lot of people connect with us for prayer support through email. Those that know me text me as well, prayer support, although we don't advertise my phone as a machine to connect with. So it's more through the web, more through the internet than it is through the written word now. That's the biggest change as far as Silent Unity goes. So a lot of people ring in and we take prayer requests over the phone with them when they ring up to buy Daily Word subscription or booklets or give a donation. So there's a lot more telephone contact, email contact than there was before. And also social media. I mean, that's really changing the way we interact with people these days. We have a lovely lady, Ruth, working with us who's developing our social media capabilities with Facebook and Twitter. Our website has changed beyond all recognition to what it was. It was a very simple form. When I started, there wasn't a website. And now, of course, there is. So there's so much that we do. We have monthly newsletters that go out via email. I do a Thought for the Week that Doreen suggested that we start up, and that goes out now as a weekly email that contacts people. I have no idea who these people are. They just want to be added to the list, and so this email goes out. But it's like the positive impact that Unity brings through prayer and its tools that it offers goes out across the internet, across the World Wide Web, in such a profound way that we have no idea how that's impacting people, but it is. So it's the extent is much greater than it used to be in that way. That's been a huge change.